Welcome to The Key with Kim Mills. I can't wait to introduce you to my guest today, an amazing local business owner in Columbus, Kat Brown. She owns Luxe Lemons. We're going to dive into all the things about what her business is, and we want to hear the stories behind the story, right? So welcome, Kat.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So let's first start a little bit. I know what Luxe Lemons, I feel like a lot of people I know what Luxe Lemons is, but explain to our audience. It's meal prep delivery, right? But
Yes.
You've been doing this for how long?
7 years.
Right. Like
tomorrow.
this is tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, happy early anniversary.
Thank you.
Okay, so I feel like in the current day, more people maybe know what this is because there's some like big, probably national brands that people maybe are familiar with. So tell us about what is Luxe Lemons and, just share kind of the why we should be using you versus a competitor.
Yeah, so Luxe Lemons, I've always said it is a prepared meal delivery service, which really didn't land years ago before the big national chains came through because people were like, meal prep? You mean it's meal prep? And I'm like, no, it's prepared meal delivery because meal prep to me is very, like athletic performance based. It's very like boring. It's the same meal 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And that's not what we do. So we prepare restaurant style meals. And when you eat them at home, it feels like you're at the restaurant. The presentation looks exactly like the photo on the website. But the really cool thing we do is we make all of the foods that we know and love.
Yeah.
But we make healthy versions of them.
Love it. Go into some specifics because I feel like when you're on your website, you literally, if you're trying to do anything, if it's keto or gluten-free or, I don't know, it's like anything that is new that people are trying, I feel like you guys offer that.
Yeah, we definitely pride ourselves in variety.
Yeah.
Because we don't want anyone to ever get bored. And so like a good example of what we do is like our pad thai. So you go get pad thai from an Asian restaurant. It's 1,500 calories, probably 4 times that in sodium.
Yeah.
But we make our sauce in-house with coconut aminos and fresh ginger and garlic, and it tastes delicious. And then we take half the amount of rice noodles, and then we pair that with shredded cabbage, carrots, green onion, things like that. So you feel like you're eating the regular pad thai,
Yeah.
but it's half the calories, half the sodium, and it's made from whole nutritious ingredients.
It's amazing.
And then you don't feel sluggish after. You feel amazing. So
Yeah.
that's what we do with every meal.
Yeah. And, okay, talk a little bit about how it works. And I know we'll get into the ins and outs, but I guarantee some people are already like, oh my gosh, I need this in my life because I'm one of those people. So how do you do the ordering? Like, what is the process of that?
So from day one, I always wanted the process to be super simple.
Yeah.
We're geared towards a busy working mom. That's our customer, and she does not have time for complicated.
It's amen to that.
Super simple.
Yeah.
There's no subscription required. You just go on our website. You choose the meals that you want, add them to cart, check out. As long as you check out by Thursday evening at midnight, then your meals are all delivered Sunday evening and you're ready to go for the week. So It's literally that simple. Now, some people want a subscription, and by demand, we did add that option.
Yeah.
I never thought we'd have a subscription. That was always kind of one of my things. I'm like, it's so annoying to have a subscription. I have to remember to pause it because I'm out of town or cancel it or whatever.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, no, I want to set it and forget it.
Yeah.
So we do have that option too. So you can choose one of our meal plans. We have 3 options. We have Balance, which is all the best sellers.
Yeah.
Nourish, which is lower carb, like a carb mindful. And then Foundations, that's gluten-free, dairy-free.
Okay.
So you can pick one of those, subscribe, and it just auto refills 5 meals every week, and you don't have to think, and all your lunches
It's
are covered.
amazing. That's so great. How did it come to be? Like what were you doing before? How did you get the idea? How did you get started?
So I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. My family, I grew up in a Greek family.
Okay.
So my family actually migrated here from Greece. And as soon as I could reach the counter, I was like, what are we doing up here? I want to cook.
I love that.
And I just, like, food is our love language. Like, food is such a huge part of Greek culture. So, like, every Sunday, the whole family, the entire family would be at my Yaya's house, and she'd have Sunday dinner. And so I loved it. And I always, like, remember babysitting my brother and being like, okay, sit on the other side of the counter and watch me do my cooking show. So I just always had an affinity for culinary and food. But growing up in a family like that, my family did not prioritize healthy ingredients.
Okay.
So, it was like, oh, I love these foods, but I was a 90s kid.
Yeah.
So like we were eating like Kraft mac and cheese
Oh,
and
yeah.
like school pizza and who knows what's in that. And so I was like, there's got to be a better way. So I just, on this own venture of mine, like one by one would create all these recipes. And they would be enchiladas and lasagna and pastas and pad thai and General Tso's chicken and all these things that I love to eat.
Yeah.
But I would make them healthy, so I felt good. At the time, when I wanted to start Luxe Lemons, I was going to do a recipe blog.
Okay.
Because I thought, well, I'll just share my recipes with the world. And my circle of friends, they were all like, no, you have to cook it. Like, I'm never going to cook. No one has time. Mm-hmm. And it's so funny now, fast forward 7 years later, no one has time, especially, like back then it felt like time was a little slower.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to cook it. At the time I was working in corporate real estate, commercial real estate. I worked in the development sector.
Okay.
And so I worked in their marketing and design team. And the entrepreneur in my blood, it was just like, I can't sit at this desk 9 to 5. I know so many people resonate with that.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't shake this. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. And that very first week I had 7 of my closest friends. They each ordered about 7 meals. So I had about 50 meals total.
Okay.
And I was like, I can do this over the weekend. I can cook it out of my apartment. And it was a disaster.
Oh.
It looked like my one friend came in to pick up her meals and she was like, this looks like an artist studio, but like the culinary version. There's just like stuff everywhere. So that next week I had 100 meals.
Oh my gosh.
And then the week after that, it was like 150 and 200. And it was just growing so fast.
And word of mouth. You were growing word of mouth.
And primarily because I had a logo built for this recipe blog I was going to make.
Okay.
So I put these little like mailing labels on their boxes with their nutrition information with the logo, Luxe Lemons. And everybody's like, what is that in the break room? Like when they take it to work, can I have that? How do I get that? And so, it turned into like, hey, can my coworker, can my like work bestie order?
Yeah.
Can her neighbor order? Can her neighbor's cousin order? Can her neighbor's cousin's hairdresser order? And I was like, I have to get an LLC and make this a real thing.
Yeah, you're onto something fast. Yeah.
So it really was a blink of an eye. I like to move fast.
Yeah.
And I had an LLC, insurance, commercial kitchen, like everything within a week. I built a website myself
Amazing.
in like 10 days. And so
and this was before Chat GPT or
AI, any help,
Oh my
anything.
gosh. Yeah.
I mean, it was like YouTube University was the
Sure.
like AI back
Yep.
then. So I'm like trying to figure out how to build a website and, coding for dummies and just trying to figure it out.
Oh my gosh, that's
it happened
wonderful.
really fast and then it just exploded from there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's so much that you just said that I just want to go deeper on because I started my career in advertising and marketing. So I've always been a sucker for like good branding. It's brilliant that that's what you put on the bag because it's viral, like just by itself, So I love that you were like, that's what we're doing. It's so smart.
Brand is like my number one focus. It always has been. I want you to feel and experience. Like there's a reason why people are like either iPhone or Android, right? It's because you really love the brand. You feel like this emotional connection to it. So I knew from day one, I was like, the brand is the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about it a lot in real estate. I'm on the residential side, and we have to embrace like that personal brand. And so many people get hung up with maybe you have like the logo or the brand of something that you buy all the time in your mind, but you just nailed it. You have to give somebody a feeling for them to come back, and so whatever that is, you've got to replicate it and, obviously make it a great experience and you have loyalty come out of that. From a customer, I feel like a lot of what I see businesses that are successful in doing it right, you clearly understand customer service, you understand the client experience is important, and loyalty is clearly the name of the game. So however you want to dive into those, how did you make that a priority without giving all of your secrets away? Like what is the most important and how do you nail that every time?
Yeah, attention to detail, for sure. So I had the privilege of working for Cameron Mitchell for a couple of years, about 10 years ago. And his philosophy is yes is the answer, what is the question?
Love that.
And it was very cool to like be able to work in that culture.
Yeah.
And I actually started in Upper Arlington And then they asked a couple of us if we would transfer to Beverly Hills and open Ocean Prime, a store out there.
Gosh, yeah.
So I got to watch, like I got to move to LA and like watch all these LA people come in this restaurant with like, you know, LA attitudes.
Sure.
And like completely conform to this culture of like, yes is the answer. I'm so excited to serve you. What do you want? And so that was like, that stuck with me forever. I was like, no matter what I do in life, like that's my new MO. So that's how we operate.
Yeah.
So yes is the answer. What is the question? And of course, you can't always say yes.
Yeah.
But you can say yes, and you know, maybe it looks like this. But customer service from day one has always been such a huge priority. I want you to feel like the warmth from our culture, our internal culture, I want it to extend into you as a customer or a client. So we have the world's best customer service manager. If anybody listening to this has emailed into customer service, you already know. Like, her name's Jen. She's the absolute most amazing human ever. She's been with me 6 years. So customer service, you have to take care of the client.
Yeah.
That client, like, we're a luxury service. We're not, you know, a budget service. So our clients expect luxury.
Right.
All the way from meal experience, delivery, to when there's a snafu and we have to correct it.
Yeah. What I love what you're talking about, client service is so important. You've got that at the center. And to me, that correlates directly to probably your loyalty. Can you talk a little bit about that? Have you have customers that have been with you the whole time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, we have a handful of customers that they order breakfast, lunch, and dinner
Incredible.
5 days a week, every week. On the weekends, they go have fun.
Yeah.
So yes, customer loyalty is everything. And I mean, recently we are now offering a loyalty program, which is amazing. And I've been wanting to bring this to life for years. So now customers can actually be rewarded, like with store credit.
Sure.
But as far as loyalty goes, how we achieve that is all the way, like the whole user journey. So coming to the site for the first time, the feeling you get there, the ease of ordering, then selecting the meals. Like what do the meals look like? Is all the information there? Is it transparent? We want to be super transparent, and we want you to know the allergens, the nutrition, the nutrition information, all of that good stuff. So is that all there? And then from there, how is my experience receiving the product? How does it come? What does the box look like? When I open the box, do I get a feeling like, oh my gosh, like I love this branding. I love this vibe. Like it feels so calm. It's giving me this sense of much needed reprieve from my busy life.
Love that. Let's talk a little bit about, did you ever have a moment where you were feeling, and maybe this was before you made the leap into owning your own business, but I feel like high achieving women often hit this like underwhelm. It's like you're so overwhelmed with what's on the plate, but you're underwhelmed with maybe what it is on the plate. Did you ever have a moment like that? If you did, is that sort of where the seed of Luxe Lemons never went away in your brain?
So yes, I am an Enneagram 3. I love to achieve.
Okay.
And I think that for a lot of us who are women who are attracted to achieving, sometimes you achieve and you're like, this is all it is. Like, I'm here now. Okay, wait, this is it?
Yeah.
You know, so after college, I'm working in this job that I always aspired to have. And I'm sitting there and it's such an amazing opportunity. And the team was so amazing. And I'm just like, this can't be it. Like, this can't be it. And what's more, you know? So yes, it was overwhelming and underwhelming at the same time.
Yep.
And then the voice kind of in the back of my mind started chiming in, and it was like, I have this idea.
Yeah.
You should do it. And I just couldn't. I ignored it as long as I could. I think
Sure.
a lot of us do that.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't ignore it anymore. And, you know, my advice to people if they're feeling that way, because I feel like as women, so many of us have this dream,
Yeah.
you know, this like little dream in the back of our head that we're like, oh, but I shouldn't, you know, like I've got kids to take care of, or I'm in a stable, you know, career and I've worked hard to get here. But if you have that idea, just explore it. Even if you dip your toe in a little bit,
Yeah.
you owe that to yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to go all the way in, but I guarantee you, if the idea is like mine and you dip your toe in, you're diving in within.
I was going to say, you're not
weeks.
staying in the shallow end
Yeah,
for very
no.
long.
No.
But that's such a good point because, you know, I definitely have the achiever in me as well. But I think we forget that you can start with dipping a toe. It's like you don't have to go head first into the deep
Yes.
end. I mean, you can,
Yes.
but it's not the only option. All right. When it comes to a business, can you share with us a struggle or a failure that comes to mind that was it was like a big moment for you? And what was it? And what did you do to get out of it?
Hiring, learning how to hire. I wish that I could go back in time and have taken time to learn how to do that right, how to find good talent.
Yeah.
When I first started Luxe Lemons, it doesn't matter who you are. I would shake your hand, you're hired, because I was growing so fast. I could not keep the wheels on the bus. So I remember, in the hospitality industry 7 years ago, you would post on Craigslist. Like that's where you would get a lot of
amazing?
volume. Yeah. Indeed was too polished and fancy.
Sure.
ZipRecruiter, I don't even know if that existed yet, but as time's gone on, now we post on Indeed and ZipRecruiter. But back in the day, you would post on Craigslist. That's where all the hospitality jobs were.
Yeah.
Like all the big companies, Cameron Mitchell, everybody.
People listening to this are going to be like, what was Craigslist?
I know.
I'm like, it's also where you posted furniture, which was scary.
I know. So, right.
Yeah.
There was some questionable people on Craigslist.
Yes, that's right.
So, but I would hire anybody, and I had so much turnover.
Yeah.
So much turnover, and it was exhausting. And so it truly, I'll be honest, it took me a solid 5 years into the business before I started to really hire more strategically.
Yeah.
And not just hire anybody.
Yeah.
And I've had an entire cook team walk out multiple times. I had back in 2020, we had just signed our first lease in a beautiful private kitchen, March 1st. And then March 17th, the whole world
and we
shut
know what
down,
happened
and I
2
was
weeks
like,
later.
How are we ever going to pay this rent? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
And it was very hard to find staff during that time.
Yeah.
Really, really. We were blessed. We never had to close the doors because of our style of business. But it was very hard to keep staff. And there would be weekends where there'd be 2 people making, 2,000 meals alone. So hiring strategically, and I've also made the mistake of having to let go of a chef who all of his friends were cooks, and that team walking out. So I've really been through the ringer and back with hiring. And it took me all of those failures to just take a second and say, take a breath. And let's go into this intentionally. This is something that I have the opportunity. I get to learn how to find good talent. So I don't think if I would have had the failures to that extent in that area, that I would be as good as I am now at hiring and finding good talent. But when you, the team we have now, when you have solid talent that believes in what you're doing, you're unstoppable.
Yeah. Can you share anything besides the pause and being more intentional? Can you share anything here is what I used to do? Maybe it was just out of desperation. I would just take this person in. But what was the big shift? Was it work ethic? Was it a personality thing? What was it that you were like, okay, now I've got the right people?
So it was really digging into your work experience, calling references. I feel like nobody does that.
Yeah.
Calling references. But the biggest thing was nailing down what my core values are, what the mission of the company is, and what the vision, the direction of the company is, and then hiring based off of those. So first interview is always, here are our core values. Does that align with your personality? Because if it doesn't, this is not going to work for you. You're not going to like it here. And we're very different from a traditional restaurant. Restaurant industry is rough.
Yeah.
It's a rough industry. I worked in it for a very long time, and we're calm, we're chill, we love to be at work, we love each other.
Yeah.
And that's the total opposite from what a lot of these people are used to.
Sure.
So it's aligning them to the core values. If we get past that stage, then it's doing a deep dive on work experience and actually calling references. I know it's the most annoying, extra little step to do, but it's so pivotal.
Yeah.
And so just taking the time to do it that way.
That's awesome. Okay. Did you have another story? I feel like
I
you had
have
another.
a funny story.
Okay.
I mean, it's funny now.
Okay.
It's not funny then.
Well, isn't that the truth, right?
So,
yes.
yeah, I've had so many of these stories. But we had a weekend from hell, I'll call it. And this was in the very beginning. It was maybe a couple years in, like maybe a year or two in. And it was only 500 meals that needed produced, or 600 or something like that. And I had to make them all by myself. So like I didn't have people called off, or I didn't have staff. I can't remember the details, but I made them all by myself. I worked like a 20-hour day. I went home and slept 4 hours. I got back in it. I worked an 18-hour day, went home, slept whatever the time is left in the day, and then went back and worked a 16-hour day. So that was my 3 days. And now it's time to get everything out the door. And I'm so far behind. The pickups, like we have delivery and pickup. So all the pickup people are coming, and we're still lidding food. At this point, I had recruited in friends. Like I have the most amazing friends. And like all my friends are there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like what are we going to do? Like they're at the door, and so they're going to the door. They're like, I'm so sorry, can you come back? And I'm like, this is it, we're done. And there was a printing issue, so I'm printing the orders out, and the printer ran out of ink, and it like stopped in the middle of the orders, and I'm like, crap, like we have to literally go through all these orders to figure out like who hasn't been printed. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have ink. So I go in our dry storage area, and I open the drawer where we keep ink, and it's empty. I opened that whole drawer, and I looked in it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's empty. What are we going to do? I don't have time to run to Staples. Like, what are we going to do? And I started walking out of there, and I was just like, tears were welling up in my eyes, and I was like, we're done. This is it. The food is still getting lids on it, you know? Like, I came, I don't have orders printed, and people are here, and food needs to get out the door with the drivers. So something in me was just like, turn around and go open the drawer again. Like, the story like makes me cry every time. And I turn around and I go open the drawer again. You know those like clear plastic drawers?
Yeah.
Like if that's empty, it's empty.
Yeah.
There was nothing in it. I open it. Right in the smack dab center is a thing of ink. And I remember just like, thank you, Lord. Like, oh my gosh, thank you, Lord. Like, I'm going to do good with this. Like, I promise. Yeah. And I walk out, and I literally fall to my knees, and I'm like, I have ink. And everybody's like, we got this. Like, we can do it. And so, like, it was just, like, all these, like, busy, like, little worker bees. We're just, like, all getting everything out. Yes. And, I mean, we were texting every order, like, I'm so sorry. Like, we were delivering till, like, 10 p.m. at night. And, like, people were just so gracious. Yeah. They were just like, it's okay.
We're good.
Like, it's good. Yeah. Like, don't worry. I'll come back tomorrow. You know, there's always a couple people that are like, oh, this really sucks. But for the most part, everybody was just like, it's fine.
Yes.
And I'll just never forget that. Like, that was the craziest. Yeah. My nervous system that weekend was fried.
Yeah, that's amazing. Talk to me about probably the daily juggle of what you have. Entrepreneur, leading a business, a wife, a mom. Like, tell me about that juggle and share a little bit, age of kids and all that kind of stuff.
It's chaos.
Yeah, right? It's a juggle.
There's no other way to look at it. It's chaos. You have to find balance. So yes, I'm in the business 40 hours a week. I have my 2 stepkids. They are 10 and 14. They're with us 50% of the time. And our 14-year-old is in soccer, in high school soccer. He's been in soccer for 10 years, but high school soccer is unlike any other kind of soccer that we've experienced so far. It is sometimes 7 days a week, most of the time 6. So we're just always like soccer, 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 soccer. Luckily, our daughter Cameron, she's in swim and basketball, so their seasons don't fall into each other. But there's always a sport happening, and she's in travel basketball, so all the travel basketball moms know, like, that's also crazy.
Yeah.
So it's always chaos, but life would feel empty without it, you know? So I embrace it.
Yeah. How do you, like, switch the hat? Because I feel like, I mean, I'm picturing at least how my life is, because I have similar stuff where the kids have busy schedules and you're trying to be there, and you also are trying to be present for your partner and, you know, your business, right? So I feel like a lot of times people feel like they have to be these pretty silos, right? And it's really more about an overlap. But how do you switch the hat when you need to? Do you like literally tell yourself like, okay, focus on this or be present in this? Like, how do you help yourself like switch from role to role? Probably 30 times a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And even within the business, because sometimes I'm in operations, sometimes I'm in finance, sometimes I'm in HR. Most of the time I'm in marketing. So I'm constantly like switching hats there because it's different personalities for each area.
Absolutely.
Like operations is a whole different animal than marketing is, and finance and HR. So for switching hats, there's never a perfect like rhyme or reason to it. But I do this exercise a lot. So I do this exercise, I'm sure you've heard of it, where you put your feet on the ground and you feel like it takes 30 seconds, but it's such a game changer. You put your feet on the ground, you feel the floor on your feet, and then you name 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste, and I'm forgetting the other thing, but you just sit there and you just like remember where you are, and that's like, that for me is like this nice little like trigger to like shift into the next thing. But I won't lie, like you have to overlap, especially as a parent, especially as an entrepreneur parent.
Yeah.
The kids love to watch movies, so we'll watch a movie and I will be answering emails on my phone, like they just want your presence there.
Yeah.
So like I'll take opportunities where I see them. But like one thing that I prioritize is dinner as a family. We don't get to do it often, but when we do, it's like everybody, like no phones at the table. Like we're going to talk. Or car rides. We'll do like
Car rides.
fun would you rather questions.
Yes. Aren't they amazing?
Yeah.
There's something about the car. My mom told me about this, and obviously we didn't have the phone issue when we were growing up. But I think there is something about the fact, like your kids will start sharing because like you're not like in this face-to-face situation. I don't think they feel like they're being judged. And, you have to keep your eyes forward. So it's cars. I mean, and you're in it a lot. If you're have a kid that does travel sports, you're in your car a lot.
I know my 14-year-old, when I pick him up from soccer in the evenings, oftentimes he'll say, "Can we just drive around the block a couple times and keep talking?" And we'll just drive. We'll literally drive around the little circle in our neighborhood. I'm like, the neighbors are going to think we're creeps, but we're driving around like 4 or 5 times. It's like, hold on, let's just like 5 more minutes.
That's incredible.
Life. But it's just those little pockets. Like you have to decide. Like maybe I needed to get home to get something out the door by end of day that I promised I would. But I'm like, no, this takes priority right now.
Yeah.
So always analyzing what takes priority and then finding opportunities within it.
I love that. And you're recentering. That's a very good tip. So hopefully people will take advantage of that. I don't know. I feel like we get used to this fast-paced world that we're in, right? It's just like we know that's familiar. But how do you personally do a reset, or how do you find calm?
Yeah. I have to find calm. Being in the business in the way that I was the first handful of years really took a toll on my nervous system. And on my health too. So it was like I had a very big wake up call the past couple of years where I was like, I have to chill.
Yeah.
Like I'm burning the candle at both ends. My adrenals are completely burnt
Shot.
out.
Yes.
And so weightlifting, strength training is a non-negotiable. I do that 4 times a week, 3 at a minimum. Reformer Pilates is also a non-negotiable.
It's
how
so good.
I recenter. It gets my mind right because you're in these positions and you just like don't want to be there and you have to be in it for so long. And like it just translates into every other area of life because how many situations are we in for longer than we need to? And we're just like in this waiting room, where you just have to learn how to like find peace.
Yeah.
Going back to weightlifting, sled pushes.
Oh yeah.
I highly recommend, like if anybody's not doing sled pushes, like you can Google it if you don't know what it is, but I highly recommend like it just anything you're carrying, you can just like get it out.
I was going to say it's like a therapeutic move.
Yes. So, and I used to do like the Orange Theory type of workout and it was just too much. Like I already have too much going on. Like I just needed that like calm centering, like strength training.
Yeah.
So that, and then, prayer, like I pray like at night. I just try to like connect with like my creator and my higher purpose and just like recenter.
That's so wonderful. All right, I want to hear about we've talked about struggles and all that kind of stuff, but I want to hear about a memorable win, like something that you were like, yes, like it could be anything. It can be family, it can be work, it can be anything, but I want you to share a really memorable win that you've had.
Okay, so the first thing that comes to mind is it's a win. It's not like this crazy, like, oh my gosh, we, hit this dollar in sales or this amount of meals, but it was during COVID. All of the restaurant workers the majority of restaurant workers were all like laid off.
Yeah.
And nobody knew what was going on. And I just felt this like immense responsibility, which made no sense. I was like, it's not my responsibility, but I feel like it is for some reason.
Yeah.
And I had some really cool chefs come on the team at that time, like chefs from Lincoln Social and like really cool places in Columbus, because they were like, well, I don't have anything to do right now, so what do you need? So like, let's develop some recipes together. And still to this day, like our truffle cream sauce is from an amazing chef named Derek during that time, and other things like that. But I had all these, I couldn't hire everybody, I could only hire so many. And so the team was, I had really cool chefs. And then I was like, we have to do something about these people who are out of work. Like, what are they going to do? Like, I know what it was like working in restaurants. You are living paycheck to paycheck. And if you're laid off and you're waiting for unemployment to kick in, what are you doing? Like, how are you paying your rent? How are you buying your groceries? So I was like, let's try to feed as many of them as we can. So we put together as many meals as we could every week. And we did this thing where, so the facility that we're in a private kitchen within this big, large warehouse. And it has a drive-through garage. And so we would literally have a window, like, I don't know, 4 to 6, let's pretend, p.m. And we'd say, come on down, drive on through. And we would put all the meals on the table, and they would just come like pick meals and like head out. And we did that for months. And then it was just so inspiring, and it was such a huge win. And then I was like, let's get the clients involved in this. Like, let's not make this just an internal thing. So we partnered with Stowe Mission, which is an amazing organization in Columbus. And we did all these food drives and all these winter coat and boots and hats and gloves, like all these different drives. And the customers loved it. It was like, I had never felt closer to our client. Like, I really hadn't. And it was just the coolest experience. It bonded us all. But one other thing we did during that time is for our clients that would come pick up their orders, we would do because you remember, it was like a lot of fear mongering.
People were so scared.
People were so scared.
So scared.
Like, obsessively like tuning in to like the daily, like,
oh my gosh, like the wine
at 2 p.m. or whatever.
Wasn't there like wine with the wine or something? Yeah. There was. I mean, gosh, it's like, it is funny when we tell our kids, we're like, we can't wait to see like what you guys have to tell your kids about COVID-19.
I know.
Anyway, that's a whole other.
So yeah,
it's a whole other
crazy.
episode.
It's crazy. But so we would do good news. So when each customer pulled up, we would say, okay, can you tell us, like, do you want to participate in this? And if they said yes, they were like, can you tell us some good news? And they were just like, it's my dog's birthday, or like, I'm alive, or, like, I worked in sweatpants all day. And so we just would share that on social media, and we just like, we filled the space that felt so negative with so much good, that COVID, like, from that standpoint, felt honestly like the most connected and blessed time that I've ever had in the business.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, I like, something inside was like, we have to make this good. We just have to like fill everybody with goodness. Like,
oh my
we
gosh.
have to do that. And then we would have the community on Instagram like pick a person each week that got a free order, and we'd go surprise them with their free order.
I love it.
So yeah, I'd say that was our biggest one. I loved the way we handled COVID.
I love that you clearly have a servant heart, you can tell, but I feel like you can take like a very dark time. That was a very scary, uncertain, dark time for a lot of people. But the fact that you found a way to like spin it on its head, but then like really it's a very positive time for you. Like, you look back at that and it's like, it was beautiful.
It really was.
But you created that. I mean, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Kudos to you. It's so great. Okay. So I always do a quick fire at the end, but I have one question before we get into quick fire. What advice do you have for our listeners? Just if they feel maybe they're at a place where they're like stuck, or they're bored, or they're underwhelmed. I know we said like you could dip a toe, but like what's one thing they could do like today to maybe get out of that feeling?
If you're feeling stuck, my biggest piece of advice is to really dedicate time to you, yourself, and you. Like, have a conversation with yourself. Like, what is really going on here? I feel like a lot of times people who are stuck, myself included, we just try to breeze right past it. Like, dedicate time to yourself and have that, whether it's journaling or talking out loud to yourself in the car, like put a meeting on your calendar with yourself, like whatever you need to do, like have the conversation, ask like, how am I really? What's really going on? Because most likely the thing that you think is the thing keeping you stuck, it's a layer underneath that.
Yeah.
And if you can get to that layer, then it's not going to, the next thing you move on to, you're going to be stuck there too. So if you can get down to that layer and ask yourself, like, how am I really, what's really going on and why am I stuck?
Yeah.
But then surround yourself, like find your community, find your people like that. I was stuck. I was really stuck before I started Luxe Lemons, and I threw myself into my community. Like I found my community and I threw myself into it. So whether it's like a women's group or your circle of friends or your family or whoever it is, like find that circle and throw yourself into there and be vulnerable. Like, how well people respond to vulnerability. Like I feel like as women, we're afraid to sometimes. Yeah. Just say like, I'm struggling. And if I hadn't done that with my circle, I would have never started, the wheels wouldn't have started turning. I wouldn't have started asking the questions or answering the questions they were asking me. So I think conversation, really dedicating conversation, whether it's internal, external, or both.
Yeah, maybe a mix of both. Mm-hmm. That's so great. Such good advice. Okay, so let's do some quick fire, whatever comes to your mind first. Let's see here. What is one local spot? It can be anything. It can be food related. It can be anything. What's one local spot in Columbus you think everyone should know about?
Fox in the Snow.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about it, though.
I know. It's so great, though.
Fox in the Snow. Oh, my gosh. It's my favorite.
What's your order there?
I get a chai latte.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I'll get a cappuccino and a breakfast sandwich. It just depends on what I'm there for.
Yeah.
But, oh, my gosh. It's like you're transporting out of Columbus into somewhere else.
I agree. And every location is great.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good one. All right. What's one life hack or a time saver you swear by?
One life hack or a time saver I swear by. Put it on the calendar.
Oh my gosh.
Put it on the
Snaps.
calendar.
Yes.
However long you put it on there for is how long you're spending on it. Cut yourself. If it's from, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., you're done at 10. And it's okay. Pick up where you need to on another day in a section that's open on your calendar. And feel like comfortable and free to tell people, I don't have time. I don't have time for that right now, or that's not a priority right now. I feel like a lot of times we fill too much stuff and then we're like,
Yeah.
So put it on the calendar. And once the calendar is full, the calendar is full.
Calendar's full. I love that. A good boundary. Mm-hmm. All right. What about something that inspires you? Could be a song, a book, a podcast, or a person. What is giving you some inspiration right now?
Oh gosh, what is giving me inspiration right now? What gives me inspiration just in general is just women exceeding in the world and succeeding.
Yeah.
I went recently, a couple months ago, I want to say, I went to a Chamber of Commerce, Columbus Chamber of Commerce women's event. And there was the CEO of YMCA there. And if you don't know her, she's such a cool human being.
I mean, powerful.
Her story is amazing. Anyways, but so she was there, and it was a panel. There were other people there too, and she was just giving her story, and her story really sat with me. And in times like this, I feel like as women, I don't know, we can feel a little scared. And she was like, you deserve to be in the room, be in it, and fill it up. And if somebody didn't tell me that when I was younger, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah.
So I think women, her story, I'm not sure if it's public on YouTube or wherever, but her story has been such an inspiration to me. And just that sentence in and of itself, you deserve to be in the room, be in it, and fill it up.
It's amazing. That's a mantra to live by for sure. All right. What's your guilty pleasure? Something you love that people might not expect about you?
Nobody judge me. But I just love Housewives.
No judgment. No judgment.
I love Housewives. I'm watching Salt Lake City right now.
I feel like people are restarting Salt Lake. I think they're starting from the beginning, which great.
I just love it. It's I don't know. I can't explain it. My brain gets to turn off.
Yeah.
I get to just watch other people be chaotic. I'm like, wow, my chaos isn't that bad.
Totally. No, it's so good. I love that. I love that. Okay. And then we've kind of said this already, but maybe there's something else that we'll spark too. If you had one key takeaway for anyone listening, what would it be?
One key takeaway for anybody listening. If you are listening to this because you have a little idea or a big dream, whatever it is on that spectrum in your heart, just do it. Just do it. You owe that to yourself. To think of being, at the end of your life experience and have regrets that you never tried it, you don't want to be there.
Exactly.
So just do it.
Yeah. Kat, thank you so much. This was so great. And we'll put everything for Luxe Lemons in the show notes, so you'll be able to order your week, your year, whatever, very easily. But I just want to say thank you. You're really a gift to the city. And I think I don't care if it's a female or a male listening to this, you're proof that you can do it. I mean, you really can, from an idea to, inception of what you're creating, and to be successful and having it go in a direction maybe you didn't even dream this big of where you are now. Just kudos to you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Please subscribe and share it with a friend so you don't miss the next conversation. Really excited to go on this journey with you. Until next time, remember, the key is in the details, and the journey is just as important as the destination.